What's up everyone, China Cycling here. We're back with day 2 of the Shanghai bike show presented by pandapodium.cc. We've got a bit of everything today. We've got 2 brand new frames from Winspace. We've got Wheeltop's rim brake wireless shifting and a bunch of tech from Magene, iGPSport and XOSS. Let's go check it out. What's up? Yeah, okay, so this is the Winspace stand. This is actually the first time I've gone to the Winspace stand since I quit Winspace, so this will be interesting. I don't even know what I've got there, so let's go check it out. Okay, and this is a new paint job for the G2. It seems they've upgraded all the paint jobs for the G2. They've got 3 new paint jobs here. A lot more gravel than the old paint jobs maybe. The bright pink one I designed is now rest in peace, but no, we've got these more gravelly colors. I think they look cool actually, look very good out here when you're riding in the woods or whatever. And yeah, more gravelly theme on the G2. Also this, which has been the worst kept secret in a while, the T1550 is now also out. So this is their 15th anniversary limited edition paint jobs. I'm not sure if these will be overseas or Chinese market only, but very cool. I like this area here where it goes from like the matte carbon to the painted red. That's pretty cool, some nice details on the frame too. But yeah, so the T1550 is an upgrade of the T1500. I talked about it in the Taipei video, but yeah, these paint jobs are new and they're for the 15th anniversary of Winspace. Also here on the Winspace stand, we have this unreleased concept bike. They're calling this the Agile. Again, it's one of these half aero, half climbing frames. Seat stays have been dropped super low, super interesting. It's still got the same T-tail design I used to have on the T1500, but a lot lower, a lot more aggressive. The tube shapes also seeming pretty thick and aero. I guess it's from an update to the UCI rules or something. Tire clearance also seems to be a bit bigger than the old T1500. No news on price or release date or anything, but yeah, this is their concept bike, the Agile. Okay, so here we are at the Magene booth. As you all know, I have got some history with Magene. Like my very first video that took up on YouTube was Magene's first Gravat trainer. When I first hung out with them, like they had like 13, 14 employees or something. Now they got like 300. Yeah, so they've grown a lot, I've grown a lot. Let's have a look, let's see what they got new today. So Magene are obviously now famous for their power meters, but now they're coming out with full cranks. So they have 3 levels that go from like mid to mid-high to high level. So at the bottom of that, they have the PES range, which are aluminium, like 650 grams for the cranks, I think. A bit high, you have the QEDs. I've got these on my Cirque, been riding them fine, no problem. Super stable, nice and stiff, and the power meter has no issues. And then this one, which I don't think is even out yet, is their TEO. So this is fully carbon cranks. It's not finished yet, so there's not a final weight, but I hear it's going to be about 340 grams for the cranks. So lots of options coming out for China now with carbon cranks. And yeah, Magene, lots of options if you want a nice crank set with a power meter. Okay, so Magene, obviously they have their own wheel brand called XR. They've got a full range of wheels from mid to high end. These are the latest and the greatest ones, the DV508 Ultras. So these with the carbon spokes, with a 45 front wheel and a 50 rear wheel, is 1,290 grams. They also have a bit of a deeper one, which is 1,375 grams. But yeah, good weights, obviously good stiffness from carbon spokes, and yeah, XR is their wheel brand. Obviously Magene also have a huge range of these small accessories and stuff. They've got their small affordable C406 Pro head unit. They've got the radar, which I've done a review on before and I love. And this isn't out yet, but this is really cool. Like they've got this little mini tail light, which is magnetic and has a bunch of GIFs you can put on there. You can customize the pictures and stuff. Heart rate monitors, all that stuff. And yeah, all of this stuff is also going to be available on pandapodium.cc. So yeah, check it out in the link down below. Okay, so here we are at the XOSS booth, or Xingzhe as the Chinese name is. They've got their full lineup of bike computers here. So they've got everything from super affordable to more high-end. On the affordable side of things, we've got this one, I think it's just $29.99, like $30 US. This one's a bit of a more simple one. You know, it's got GPS, it can record your ride, but it can't connect to power meters or heart rate meters or anything like that. And then the G Plus, very similar, but it's got ANT Plus and Bluetooth, so it can connect to your heart rate monitor, your power meter, etc. And then a bit further up, this is a new one called Nav. This is $99.99 US, I think. I'll check if I'm wrong. And then this is their one that they launched yesterday. No overseas price yet for this one, but this is a higher end still. It's got more built-in maps, more navigation and all that stuff too. So XOSS with their full range of bike computers here at the booth. Here we are at the iGPSport booth. I came here 2 years ago as well. I've since been using their stuff. I don't use it every day, I'm not going to lie, but I do use it every so often. And Tom, the cameraman, he's using this one. Tom, what do you think? Give us a nod. Good. Okay, Tom says it's good. Anyway, yeah, this is their flagship model, the IGS 630. It's not a touchscreen, but it is a colorful screen, full color. It's got your maps in there. I personally these days using the Garmin 1040, and I think the maps on this are probably better than the 1040. On my 1040, the maps update so slow. Like when you go around the corner, it takes like 3 seconds for the map to go around the corner with you. This thing always responsive when you're hitting the curves. So yeah, I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but yeah, full color maps. You can zoom in, zoom out, obviously. In navigation is super good. Also, I've said it before, with these smart gadgets, the apps can make or break it. The iGPS app is also well made, like it syncs super fast. You can pull in stuff from your Strava, you can sync to all the platforms that you usually want to sync to. It's pretty lightweight, the screen's nice and bright, as I say. I think this one with the orange is a limited edition one. The one I've been using is black. But yeah, the iGPSport, this one, the top of the range one, I think retails for $19,999 US. I know Peak Talk also did a video on this, and I think it's what he's using in his daily head unit these days. So yeah, if you want a head unit that has all the features that you want, but doesn't cost an arm and a leg, I think the iGPS 630 is a good choice. Okay, and then this is the latest model. This is the BSC 300. This thing is basically very similar to the head unit that I just showed you, but this is like a smaller, more compact and definitely lighter version. It's got the same features, a super bright, colorful screen. Screen's a bit smaller than the other one, but the maps on here are super bright. Let me get onto the screen where I was just, give me a second. Where's the map? So like you can see, super responsive. As soon as you press it, it changes the page. On my Garmin 1040, you press the button and it lags a bit before it changes the page. But this thing, as soon as you press the button, next page, next page, next page, next page. Let's go back to the map there. Let's zoom in, zoom out. Yeah, so this one also a bit cheaper than the 630. This one retails for $149.99, I think. And yeah, I think it's got everything you want. If you want a super light, more compact head unit, I'd totally recommend the BSC 300. I think I'm going to do a full review on this soon. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. But yeah, iGPSport. Also coming soon to pandapodium.cc. We're going to be selling them on there too. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out and they'll be in stock soon. Okay. As I was walking around, the paint job on this one is what stuck out to me. Beautiful blue crystal effect. I'll get some close-up shots in a second. But yeah, this is a new brand called TaVelo, and this is their attack model. So fully painted with this bling paint job. Apparently this is like 950 grams, but as you can see, fully integrated, like one of these new kind of can climb, can do AERO road bike frames, similar to Tarmac SL7 or whatever. But the paint job is definitely the standout feature on this one. I'll get some shots in a sec. The spokes, looks like we're having carbon spokes in this as well. Obviously, a big trend this year, seems more and more wheels are doing carbon spokes. The wheels are their own in-house wheel brand called Pertual. And yeah, at the moment, only selling within China, brand new brand, but yeah, they have plans to go overseas as well. So we'll see what's the what with that. But yeah, just a pretty stunning looking bike, and yeah, thought I'd show you guys. Okay, here we are on the 2 Wild stand. You guys know I did a video on bike lights about 2-3 years ago. Loads of you watched it. In that video, I had these guys, 2 Wild. They're here back on the booth, and they've got this, their brand new CL1200 Pro. This actually got a design award yesterday. Basically, it's your light as you expect with a nice lens to stop you blinding oncoming riders, but you've also got this remote that you can install here. This remote, cheers. This remote is fully wireless, so when you're riding, if someone's coming towards you, just shift your hand to here. There's one button that does flashing, so if you want to get someone to move out the way, flash the lights. You got your flashing button here, and you've got another button here to change the brightness. So if you're riding along and then suddenly there's more cars coming or whatever, you can just change it as you're riding. So obviously on a mountain bike, you can also just put it next to your brake lever. Here on a road bike, you can put it just under your arm. You do have to move your hand a little bit to get to the buttons, but you know, it's still better than trying to faff around for the button on the light when you're riding. Another cool thing about this light is that you can install it underneath your head unit, or you can install it on your bars. Lots of lights I've used before, when you install it on the bar, it's the right way around, but when you put it underneath your head unit, it goes upside down. And then your beam pattern is totally messed up. You know, you're blinding oncoming cars and you can't see the road. So on this one, no matter which way you install it, the beam pattern can adjust so it's facing the right way. Lumens, they've got a whole range. I think the lowest one is like 800 lumens. The highest one is like 1,800 lumens. Personally, I usually use around 1,000 lumen lights. I think that's enough. Also, these guys, you can check them out on Amazon or whatever, but also we will be stocking them on pandapodium.cc because I've personally been using these lights for like 3 years now, 4 years. I vouch for them. So yeah, proud to be able to say I'm going to be stocking them soon. So yeah, too wild here with the lights. They've got a full range. Check them out. I'll put some links in the description if I remember. The best thing about this remote is you can be an Audi driver. Anyone that gets in front of you, just start flashing them. You can unleash your inner Audi driver. Okay. So here it is, the EDS road bike version. It's finally here. So this is like a rim brake one, no hydraulics, cable actuated brakes. Obviously you can use it for rim brake or for cable actuated disc brakes. The shifter design here, so you got your shift buttons on here. 2 little buttons on each one, it feels like. This isn't a final version, they're still developing this. The shape of the shifters, maybe, I don't know, the shifters seem to buck outwards a little bit, which is, I don't know, maybe it will take some getting used to, a bit strange on the wrists, but yeah, I guess you have to ride it to see for sure. But the front derailleur seems to have a built-in battery, obviously fully wireless, no wires coming in or out of it. And the rear derailleur, the same thing, built-in battery, fully wireless, talking to the shifters up there. No news on price, no news on weight, it's still being worked on apparently. But yeah, looking forward to getting my hands on it and taking it for a ride. Okay, so they've got one set up here, which I managed to get my hands on. Front derailleur, it shifts. I don't know if that's the best thing I can say about it. It seems to get stuck in like half a gear sometimes. Okay, there we go. But like I say, this isn't the final version, they're still working on it. Rear derailleur on the other hand seems pretty quick, pretty responsive. You press it, it shifts, yada, yada, yada. I guess they have more experience with rear derailleurs because their mountain bike group set is a one bike group set, obviously. But yeah, not ready for consumption yet, but they're getting there one step at a time. But it's good to see more group sets, more options coming, especially fully wireless and rim brake. Okay, and yeah, these are the Vortex wheels. So in China, these have always been popular for quite a while. These are one of the first Chinese brands to do carbon spokes. I think a couple of YouTubers have reviewed them too. I think Hambini or GC Performance had a set. But yeah, the spoke's a lot thicker than what you see on like the Hyper spokes or whatever. And this flange design is also a lot more intricate. You got a lot bigger flange. It looks like the spokes interface with the flange isn't as safe or secure as something like a Hyper, but obviously you'll get high performance by cutting out this much of the flange. But I've never ridden a pair myself. I am curious to try a set, so we'll see what's what. But yeah, these are the Vortex wheels. Here we are at the Bros stand. So Bros are a brand that like have came out of nowhere in the past year or so in China. Literally, we've gone from no one hearing of them to suddenly them having this huge range of bikes. We're here checking them out today. So this is the Bros Zenith. It looks like, you know, kind of like your ordinary looking like all-round road bike these days. You know, everything's fully integrated, blah, blah, blah. But the carbon finish looks really cool. But it's just impressive that a brand that can seemingly come out of nowhere and make just such a wide range of good looking bikes. There's an AERO bike over there we'll go check out in a minute. I think they call this one the what's it called? Oh, this is the Zenith. That's the Zenith. That's weird. Okay. So again, the frame is UCI approved. The Li-Ning UCI team are using this frame this year. Obviously ridden it to some victories, and yeah, just this brand came out of nowhere. Cool, so here we are on the Bros stand. I got this model here called the Zenith. One thing I noticed is this front fork, this absolutely ratio, looks like about a 7:1 or 8:1 cord length on this thing. So looking super aero there. Looks a bit like a Scott Foil inspiration thing, but super nice integrated bar. The way it tapers down very well in this design. Tire clearance also looks big for an aero bike. Looks like I've got 28s or 30s on here at the minute, but there's room for a few more mils in there. So yeah, not much information on this one yet, but it looks like a fast bike on the flats for sure. This is also super interesting. So we've got through axles here, but we've also got a built-in tool. If I can figure out how to get it out, there we go. So yeah, tool comes out here. Obviously you can do your through axles, but also the same tool you can do to adjust your seat post and other things on the bike. So don't have to carry a multi-tool, just use this with you, super convenient. Also super interesting to have this fairing here over the disc brake caliper, but this you can actually take it off. So if you want to go in the UCI race, fairing's obviously not allowed, but they give you the option to take it off and then you can race in the UCI races, no problem. Some people yesterday were asking me for more mountain bike stuff. Here we have the Bros Keystone, but one standout thing I saw about this is actually has the new SRAM axis stuff with the UHD rear derailleur stuff. So yeah, people were wondering how quickly the Chinese brands are going to get this you know, all-in-one derailleur hanger stuff onto their bikes. Yeah, it looks like pretty quickly because Bros already have it on their Keystone here. So yeah, super interesting to see that you'll be able to put your new SRAM axis stuff on these Chinese brands pretty quickly. So here we are at the Cycplus stand. Again, in the Taiwei bike show video, I already showed you a mini pump they've got. That thing's been hugely successful these days. But something I've not seen before is their radar. So I'm not sure on the model name for this, but they've got this radar out. The one standout feature I've seen in this is this thing is a lot smaller than the radars from Garmin or Magene or Brighton. This thing is a lot smaller. Obviously the ring of lights has been changed for a strip of light, which makes them get it a lot smaller. No solid details yet on pricing, etc. But from what I hear, the battery life is going to be longer than any other one on the market so far. And as you can see, it's still plenty bright. So Cycplus, this brand, again, they're working on loads of new products. It seems like every single month there's a new product coming out. And yeah, excited to see what goes on with this radar unit. Cycplus also seems to do some interesting kind of designs. Their more entry-level head unit they got here, obviously a nice round shape. I think it's cool to see them doing some things different and not just copying what big brands do. So yeah, Cycplus, watch out for them. Lots of new interesting products coming soon, and yeah, we'll see what's coming soon. So what was your favorite thing about day 2? One thing I noticed is that more and more brands are showing stuff in the open before the product is 100% finished. So often I'll ask the staff on the stand about weights or prices, and they'll just say, oh, it's to be confirmed. Like, I think it's kind of cool because we get to see products as they're being developed, but it also makes it pretty hard to make an informative video when I can't get simple information. Anyway, let me know down in the comments down below what your favorite thing from day 2 was, and don't forget to head over to pandapodium.cc. Okay, China cycling.